welcome to today's podcast episode or YouTube video, depending on where you are catching this juicy goodness. Wherever you're watching, make sure to give this video a thumbs up or 5-star rating. However you can support us, it really, really does help. So I wanted to talk about something that I'm personally dealing with today, and I think it can be kind of refreshing to hear about professionals that you might look up to, maybe dealing with some of the same stuff that you're dealing with. I know that I always feel so much better about my life when I hear that my healers, my shamans, my anger management teachers are angry about something, because it just reminds me that we are human and everything is okay. We all get stressed sometimes, we all get angry sometimes. Even people who are quote unquote experts of these things still have struggles, and it can be so validating to know that even after 20 years of meditation, I still have human instincts. I'm still a human being who's dealing with human stuff. So if you are also a human being who's dealing with human stuff, then we can connect here in this episode. And hopefully the way that I navigate these things through all of my trainings and things like that can maybe inspire or help you in navigating your human stuff. So something that has come up for me is insecurity. I have been waking up recently over the past few days, looking in the mirror and seeing the face looking back at me. And this is very different from what I usually see, because if you're new here, hi, I'm Marissa. I'm a professional healer and just like a weird person in the world. And I started meditating 20 years ago. So I've been doing soul work for 20 years. I've been doing a lot of mirror work. And typically when I look in the mirror, I don't see my physical body at all. I look straight into my eyes and I see my soul. I see a person who is perfect as a creation of God. I see a person, there is no flaw, there's no insecurity that I ever see. I see my life force energy and my divinity just shining out of my cells, shining out of my heart. And every time I look in the mirror, I am grounded by knowing who I am, that I'm so much more than just this physical appearance, that no matter what I look like, I can always look myself in the eye and know that deep within, I have my higher self, I have my inner self, I have my inner child, and all of us are a team and we're working together for my highest good, and all of us feel so aligned and so magical. So that's typically how I feel. And I honestly have been embarrassed to share just how confident I typically feel, because I know that it's not the norm, and I know that typically when you share your joy or your confidence or how you actually see yourself, people often say that you're lying or they don't believe you or something like that. But that has been my norm, and that has been how I see myself every single day. And so I don't really focus on makeup or trying to dress a certain way. Over the past few years of my healing journey, I've really just focused on what I feel like. And when I look in the mirror and I don't see my glowing self looking back at me, I know that I just have to do some inner work exercises in order to build up my life force energy again, rekindle my inner fire, and feel connected to God and divinity. And I didn't always feel connected to God. That wasn't always a part of my confidence. I have worked in addictions. I worked in addiction recovery centers and rehab centers, and really supporting people of all different backgrounds, feeling as connected as possible to a higher power of any kind. So if that's not resonating with you, if you're not feeling like you want to see God and divinity in the mirror looking back at you, that's completely okay. We can all admit that we are not the higher power of our lives, because no matter what you did last night, the sun is always going to come up in the morning, whether or not you make the sun come up. So even just that evidence in itself can show us that there is a force beyond ourselves in this world, and this can be a guiding force, and this can be a benevolent force. It guided us. So through that awakening and that whole process, I found God myself, and I found my confidence, and all. Yes, like, this is so incredible. I think every woman should be able to look in the mirror at any weight and feel their inner light, that divine light within. I felt this way when I was 60 pounds more than what I currently weigh. I felt this way when I was less weight. So the physical appearance can really just be a vessel of holding all of the intelligence and divine wisdom that encompasses who you are, which is so incredible. And that's how I typically feel, how I typically see myself. I would say that that is being in touch with your wholeness and being in touch with all of the magic of you. Every single person is a multidimensional person. We all have those moments that we feel good. We all have those moments that we feel bad. And you are the container that's holding that all. So you can see that, you can see you and see how beautiful you are outside of your appearance. So all of that leads us to how I'm feeling today, which is different than how I usually feel, right? I typically feel these delicious, good feelings, good, quote unquote. And today, when I look in the mirror, and this has kind of been accumulating over the past few days, I notice more and more sun damage, more wrinkles. I'm seeing that I'm aging, and I'm starting to feel a little bit insecure. And I think that this happens for women at different points in our lives. Right now, I have really bad, like, I haven't dyed my hair ever, and I started dyeing my hair when I was probably like 13 years old. So it's been over 10 years since I've even seen myself look this natural. And we live in a world where so many people put on makeup and filters and have their hair done, and I won't even put heat damage on my hair. So in order to live my healthiest life, I don't wear makeup, I don't really do my hair, I have all dreadlocks in order to help me feel connected spiritually and for my own like spiritual beliefs and things like that. So yes, it's a very, very different life. And over the past few days, I've been feeling really insecure. I've been missing my eyelash extensions. I've been missing my Botox. I've been missing my filler. These are all things that I used to do before my recent spiritual awakenings and becoming a lot more natural and grounded, and really prioritizing how I feel rather than how I look like. So for the past like 5 years, I haven't worn makeup, and I have just told myself every time I feel insecure to strengthen my inner confidence instead of creating confidence with something that I'm doing externally, like going shopping, putting on a new outfit, doing my makeup a certain way, or something like that. And so here I am after all of these years of not wearing makeup, not doing my hair, and I'm honestly kind of thinking about this stuff again. Now that I've cultivated such a deep sense of inner peace and a deep sense of self-love, I actually kind of care about the clothes that I wear. I care about the fact that I currently have a coffee stain on my shirt and I'm filming this video. Like, that makes me feel insecure right now. And that's completely okay. That can be a sign of my own evolution. That can mean that my soul is ready to start dressing up a little bit more right now. Maybe we want to start wearing fancier outfits or brighter clothes or matching outfits. Maybe that is more in my alignment. And so I'm currently feeling really insecure about my physical appearance. And I think that this can happen for women no matter what you look like, no matter what your DNA or your genes are, no matter how much Botox you've had or haven't had. We all feel insecure sometimes. And that insecurity can be a really valuable lesson. It can be a teacher for us in taking us deeper into our inner work and our self-growth journeys, deeper into our self-confidence. And maybe that might look like writing yourself a poem about who you are, which is something that I would have done over the past 5 years. Or maybe that looks a little bit different. I actually am going to be going shopping later today, and I've been thinking about how I want to change my hair and just my appearance a little bit more. And that's completely okay, because maybe this next level of me is someone who not only cultivates that good, juicy wholeness feeling inside, but also cultivates that good, juicy wholeness feeling because she's wearing her favorite sweater that she loves that isn't stained, or because she loves the way that she looks in a certain photo, or this or that, or whatever it could be. And I'm really grateful for all of this growth, because I think that back in the day, that would be the only reason that I would feel confident, is because I would look good in a certain photo, or I, like in my modeling days, I felt absolutely horrible about myself, but because my body looked good that day, because my hair and makeup looked good that day, it would be like a good day. And now I have all good days because of how I've cultivated that internally. And so maybe I am reaching that point of my spiritual evolution where I'm getting ready to go to that next level, where I can now integrate looking good on the outside as well as feeling good on the inside. And maybe that next level for me is feeling even higher levels of inner peace, higher levels of happiness, because I'm getting that confidence both from the inside and from the outside, which of course is the best way to live. So I think that oftentimes when we have like a splash of insecurity or a splash of anxiety come up, we get really hard on ourselves, and we might even ask ourselves, like, am I not healing well enough? Am I not doing a good job? Are my practices not working? I know I did my morning meditation practice today, and right afterwards I felt so insecure. And so it's natural to wonder if your practices are not working. And this is why it's so important to focus on your brain health. And I'm not saying mental health, because I know that a lot of times when we talk about mental health, that word can kind of mean mental illness. And I'm talking about actual brain health. Your brain is a muscle, and it's going to be so much easier to see what you're going through and to feel more grounded and peaceful and aligned and connected to yourself throughout the whole entire process when your brain is able to work the way that it was designed. So I cannot stress enough how much taking holistic herbs for my mental health or my brain health has helped me. And like, I literally live a whole lifestyle that's aligned with optimal brain health. And it helps me so much, because when I have that insecurity, I don't spiral into the insecurity and get stuck in that, like, what do I need to do to feel better? Now I'm changing all of these different outfits. I don't know if you've ever done that. I've done that, where you take like 3 hours getting ready in the morning because you're doing so many different outfits and you can't find something that you feel confident in. I would consider all of that to be a big waste of time. And instead, what I do is I focus on my brain health, so that when that insecurity does come up, I can notice it for what it is. I can see my big picture of my whole entire life. And I can see, I haven't really worn makeup for the past 5 years, and now I'm starting to notice that a little bit. Maybe that could be because I'm ready to start wearing makeup again. Maybe I want to think about these things a little bit more deeply and what they mean for me. And maybe I have the capacity to write poetry about how I feel when I wear makeup or how I feel when I don't wear makeup, so I can better choose what is most aligned for me. So when you focus on your brain health, you can see where you're at instead of getting lost where you are or getting stuck where you are, which is so helpful. And that's why I'm so passionate about sharing all of the different like holistic herbs that I take, and just all the weird stuff that I post all the time. I'm sure that a lot of people see my page and see my stuff all the time who aren't used to this type of content, or who aren't used to living a natural lifestyle, and are super critical, and they're confused as to why that would even be supportive for someone or important to someone. So this is one of the ways that it is really supportive, because we all have a brain, we all have insecurity pop up sometimes. Maybe we get triggered by something that someone says, maybe we're trying to do something that we haven't done before, so we're feeling that insecure beginner energy. Whatever it is, it's so important to know how to be there for yourself through the process, and to know that you are completely okay, even if you have that splash of insecurity or that splash of anxiety. And if you're having it show up every single day, that there's things that you can do, there's help that you can get, there's people you can talk to, there's courses on this, there's free material on this, there's so much available for you when you're able to actually be grounded in who you are while experiencing whatever it is that you're experiencing. So this video honestly supported me so much because I got to externally process this insecurity. So thank you so much for taking the time to hold the space for me. I really appreciate it. It's really fun to talk about these things. I think so, at least, and I guess that's why I am a professional healer, is because I love talking about insecurity. I love talking about anxiety and how we deal with these things differently and how we can deal with them differently. There's so many choices and options and opportunities available to us, but when we get so mentally trapped in that negative feeling, in the anxiety, in the insecurity, then we don't see all of them. So I hope that this video also supported you, and not just me, in enabling you to be able to better see where you're at in your journey, and that every single thing that's coming up for you is serving you, and it is guiding you and teaching you and how to get to that next level, even if you can't see it right now. So the positive feelings are for us, the negative feelings are for us. Everything that we are experiencing in our inner world is for us, and we don't need to shut out any parts of ourselves in order to get to that next level. So I am so happy that we got to take this time to spend together. Thank you for taking time out of your amazing, magical, mystical, busy life full of all of the things that you are up to in order to work on yourself. Because, yeah, it just takes one person, one healed person can change the whole entire world. And you don't need to be a fully healed person. You don't need to never ever experience insecurity again. Just start talking to yourself differently when these things do come up for you, and just notice what is different in your life. I'm sure there will be so much for you to journal about, so much for you to share about, so much for you to talk about with friends, because it really just takes that one small change to make a big transformation. Alrighty, thank you. See you next time.